think that a lot of people right now in the world are engaging in pseudo healing. And I think it's just narcissistic navel gazing, and they're actually not really healing.
What does that mean, pseudo
I
healing?
think is that they're doing whatever they're doing. Like, I meditate 75 times a day, and I do mindfulness this, and I ayahuasca that, and blah, 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 blah. And they do all of that, but they're still really going through the world in a rather monstrous, entitled, dismissive, contemptuous way. But it's sort of like, what I call healing or recovery. Like, look at my recovery, I'm so recovery-ish. And
it's like a spiritual bypass.
Exactly, it's a spiritual bypass. And that gives me pause. So you can't even just say, oh, they're doing all this work on themselves. Like, I don't care how much work they're doing on themselves.
How are they showing
their
up?
Behavior. And I just don't think a lot of people live their lives from that examined standpoint. Like, what are my values? What do I stand for? And people are like, what do you mean, what do I stand for? I can't afford gas, And so that, and I understand that, right? I'm surviving. You are surviving, but there are certain things that you're willing to fight, really, really fight for and be, and that you actually do need in your life. For some people, for example, spirituality may really matter. You cannot minimize that. And if a person for whom spirituality matters enters into a relationship for someone who doesn't, it's not an indictment of either of them, but that may not be a language they can use with each other, which might leave both of them frustrated. But there's some things that you're not going to fully map on to someone else. Someone may say, I'm very comfortable with your spiritual world. I'm simply not going to participate in it. And then that will work. And they'll say, I can see how joyful it makes you. But what the struggle here, though, the main sort of pushback I'm going to have on your list is your list is predicated on two healthy people.
That's why step one is both need to be healing.
Yeah, and
both need to be in a therapeutic journey together. That's why for me, it's if one person is working on their healing journey and doing some type of therapy consistently with accountability and emotional intelligence and integrating that process, and the other is not, I feel like it's going to be challenging.
I think it's going to be impossible.
That's why I said enter the relationship in therapy, which again, this is maybe hard for people to do.
I think it's great to enter a relationship in therapy. It's just not a typical third date activity. Hey,
I get it.
Instead of going out for drinks, you want to come to therapy?
This was after a few months. This is after
but
a few
even
months,
still, I do think that there's a business for me to open, like third date therapy.
But here's the thing. What's the alternative? Getting in a relationship where 50%, go through divorce within however many years, and then those that stay together more unhappy, and then you're suffering and you're feeling trapped and you feel stuck. And it seems like very few in their first marriage create a peaceful, thriving life with, challenges and bumps along the way, but it just seems like it's rare. And so if you want that, if you want a healthy, thriving, long-term committed relationship, not perfect, but a healthy one, I feel like it's rare. You got to do the extreme or the different things that people have never done. I don't know.
Right, but you also have to value yourself, and that's the work, right? Is for a person to be able to say, I am valuable.